welcome San Jacinto College Chancellor Brenda Hellier. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome San Jacinto College Chancellor, Dr. Brenda Hellier.
Good afternoon and welcome to the 2025 State of the College. We're really excited that you're here today. As the video said, I'm Brenda Hellier. I have the honor and privilege of serving as the Chancellor here at San Jacinto College. So welcome to the LyondellBasell Center for Petrochemical Energy and Technology. We're live streaming this for today's event, so I want to say hello to everybody who's on the live stream, and just thanks for joining us also. So to kick off the program, we're going to start with the invocation and the pledges. So Israel Garcia is going to do the invocation, and Rebecca Lilly is going to do the pledges. So if you'll please stand.
All right, let's bow our heads. Father, we come before you today with hearts of gratitude and thanksgiving. In times like these, we are strengthened by love, community, and sound leadership. As we gather today to listen to the state of our college, we ask your continued guidance for the leadership of our great college as we embark on new partnerships and new innovative projects. Thank you to Dr. Hellier and for the leaders that serve our college and lead the way. Bless the food that we are about to eat. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, please join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now the Texas pledge. Honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you, Rebecca and Israel, and all of you can be seated. All right, so we are right on time. My plan is to have you out by 1, but before I get into my presentation, I really want to spend some time. While it was a year of many successes for the college, it's also been a year of a lot of losses. And so before, again, we move into the presentation, I want to really focus on some trailblazers that we lost this year. First of all, Marie Flickinger, who served on our board of trustees for almost 30 years. We lost her last November, but the legacy she left on this institution will live on for decades. She was a champion for San Jacinto College, for actually community colleges across the state and the nation. She was the first female elected to our board. She served for 30 years, and students were always at the heart of every decision she made. She asked hard questions. You know, she was that reporter, so she asked really hard questions. She was innovative. She could always find a way to move forward, and I don't think no was in her vocabulary. And then in March, we lost Dr. Rudy Wheeler. Rudy had served selflessly on this board for 37 years, and his focus, again, was on students and employees. And we remember him for his role in advancing initiatives that helped to save students millions of dollars in textbook costs and expanding access for San Jacinto College across our entire community. And he also has supported enhanced facilities. He was an advocate for the San Jacinto College Foundation. He was a donor to our San Jac Foundation, and he was always somebody you wanted to talk to. And then we lost John Moon Jr., and JR attended San Jac in high school. He became one of our trustees in 2009, and he passed away in July. And his love for this college and the students was always there. He was passionate about workforce training and ensuring that San Jacinto College was always on the forefront of providing that training. He was instrumental in the Maritime Campus being built and in the creation of this facility. And so he was another amazing advocate for us. And also in July, we lost Molly Smith. And Molly graduated from San Jac, and she was an active member of our San Jacinto College Foundation Board of Directors. Her heart for San Jac and our students was huge. She believed in our Promise at San Jac program. She wanted every student in our taxing district to be able to attend San Jacinto College and not to be limited by finances, and or any other needs for that matter. She was active on our gala committee and was really looking forward to the gala that we're holding in April. And so when I reflect on the legacy of Marie and Rudy and JR and Molly, I really think about the indelible mark they left on this college and the impact they made on me. They were very generous and unwavering in their belief in higher education. Their collective impact is going to continue to guide San Jacinto College for decades to come, and we really honor their memory with deep gratitude and respect. So let's give them a round of applause just to celebrate their commitment. Okay, now we're going to talk about the successes, and all four of them loved the successes. And so at San Jac, we always talk about our student journeys, the steps they take from the moment they walk into our doors to the day they reach the commencement stage and move into their careers and the future that they've worked so hard to achieve. And today you're going to hear stories that capture the Raven's journey. The Raven is our San Jac mascot. It symbolizes resilience, transformation, and discovery. And that Raven is known as a guide, someone that finds the paths, adapts to challenges, and carries wisdom forward. And much like our students, the Raven journey isn't always straightforward. There's challenges along the way, but yet a Raven continues to soar, finding strength and purpose to continue the journey. And at San Jacinto College, our students are on their own Raven's journey. They're discovering who they are, what they're capable of, and how they can shape their lives and the lives of their families. And just as the Raven is never truly alone in flight, our students are never alone either. They've got our faculty, our staff, our industry and community partners supporting them and believing in them and believing in that potential of every one of those students. So I'm curious, how many of you attended San Jacinto College? Why don't you stand? So I'm going to really cause chaos, so stand. Wow. All right, if you have a family member that attended no, you guys keep standing. If you have a family member who attended San Jac or attending now, stand also. Wow, that is pretty incredible. All right, I'll let you stand now. But that was a pretty powerful statement, right? So go ahead and sit down. I think I said I was going to keep you standing. But it's funny how it's almost like Simon Says, right? You guys listen, so. But the bottom line is, that was a depiction of how San Jacinto College changes individual lives, how we're changing the social and the economic mobility of our communities, our neighborhoods, and our cities. And so today, I'm going to invite you to come along with me, and you're going to hear about journeys of our students, our staff, and our alumni. And you're going to hear about the stories of resilience, of transformation and discovery. And those might be the same stories that you had here at San Jac. But before I move on, I'm going to give you a little bit of information about San Jac to help set the stage of who we really are and why we do what we do. So we're one of 50 community colleges in Texas. We're the 8th largest by enrollment. And this fall, we have 33,230 students enrolled. Annually, we'll have about 45,000. We've had a 4.7% increase in enrollment this fall over last. And over the last 10 years, we've had an increase of about 11.6% in enrollment. And that's even after going through COVID. 60% of our students are part-time, and 40% attend full-time. Our students are working students. And last academic year, our preliminary data, and the academic year just ended in August, and so this is preliminary data because the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board hasn't certified it yet. We awarded 7,000, or credentials to 7,442 graduates. Individuals earning credentials here. Pretty amazing. But what's even more exciting, that is a 55% increase over where we were a decade ago. So that is what's amazing also, is that progress. And we have annually about 3,000 students who transfer to four-year universities. Most of them are within the state of Texas, and the vast majority are locally here and regionally here. Our largest transfer partners are the University of Houston Clear Lake, University of Houston, University of Houston Downtown, Texas A&M, no whooping, I don't do whooping, and Sam Houston. So those round out the top 5. Just imagine how these credentials, these graduates, and these transfers are transforming the communities, our school systems, our medical professions, our local government, our businesses and industries in every aspect of our communities. And for 64 years, we have proudly served the communities of East Harris County. Our taxing district consists of the school districts in Channelview, Deer Park, Galena Park, LaPorte, Pasadena, and Sheldon. We also have small areas in Clear Creek and Humble ISDs. Our taxing district includes 535,000 citizens, encompassing about 350 square miles. 4 of our campuses are located in Houston. I think sometimes we think we're on the outskirts, but we're in the heart of this community. While half of our students come from within our taxing district, the other half come across Houston and the Gulf Coast region. We have a much broader impact than I think people realize. And why do they come to us? Because we're the choice of many in the region because of reputation and how we're known for excellence, outstanding programs, committed faculty and staff, and really systems that are designed to make sure that our students succeed. And this regional excellence has turned into national recognition. So every 2 years, the Aspen Institute recognizes community colleges from across the country for their work around access, completion, transfer, workforce outcomes, and equitable outcomes. And for the last 10 years, San Jacinto College has been recognized as one of the top 10 community colleges in the country out of 1,100. This past spring, we were recognized as a finalist with distinction by the Aspen Institute. What that means is we're the #2 community college in the country, and we're the #1 college in Texas. So that's really, really cool. And do I get asked, do we want to win this? Yes, we want to win this darn thing. We just like to get it done with, but just know it's not about the recognition. It's about making sure that we're doing what's right for our students, and that recognition really solidifies that work it's the work that's going on every day at our campuses, and it's the collective effort from our faculty, our staff, our students, our administrators, and our board. But it's also due to the significant partnerships with each of you in this room. Our school districts, our universities, our community partners, our business and industries. You're really making the impact here. So at San Jacinto College, our focus has always been on elevating student success, workforce impact, and prosperity, and that's not going to change. So I'm going to do some introductions now, and then we're going to get into the Ravens' journey. And the introductions always make me nervous because I'm sure I'm going to miss somebody, but just wave your hand if I do. So we're going to start first with the San Jacinto College Board of Trustees. They are elected. They are officials that represent our entire taxing district. Each trustee serves for a 6-year term. They serve voluntarily. I think some people think they get the big bucks. They don't. They're committed to excellence, student success, equity, fiscal responsibility, and continuous improvement. And they're passionate. They're passionate about our people, our programs, and they're committed to transforming that socioeconomic status of our region. And so board members, as I call your name, please stand and be recognized, and we're going to hold applause until I'm done with all of them, okay, until they're all standing. All right, so we have Dan Mims, the chair of the board. We have Dr. Michelle Cantu Wilson, our vice chair. Mrs. Erica Davis Rouse, our secretary. Keith Sinor, assistant secretary. Larry Wilson was here earlier. He probably apologized to all of you for having to leave, but he needed to get downtown. And then Judy Harrison, our trustee that got elected in June, is out of town. So let's give them a round of applause. They are truly committed to this institution and our employees and our students. All right, so then we're going to talk about our BOLD 2030 plan. Because over the summer, the Board of Trustees really worked to make sure we had the next level of strategic plan. And that strategic plan had input from our entire college community. And it's called BOLD 2030. BOLD stands for Building on the Successes of Previous Plans. So the BOLD is really around breaking barriers. It's about optimizing services, systems, and programs for our students. It's about leveraging partnerships. Industry, school districts, business and industry, but anything that's going to benefit our students. And then the D is about demonstrating a culture of belonging and excellence. And so each of these goals is designed to create a more student-centered college, and it is really designed about how do we remove obstacles and barriers? How do we make sure we build capacity? And how do we strengthen the region? That's the focus of BOLD 2030. It's going to hold us accountable for results, and it's going to require us to continue to adapt to changes while offering relevant, high-quality programs that are needed to meet the needs for the future. And so I want to again thank the board and the employees for their work around the BOLD 2030 plan. We had a lot of feedback, and I think sometimes people think, well, does your board really meet that much? Yes, they do, and the BOLD 2030 took a lot of time. But that BOLD 2030 is more than just a set of goals. It's a promise to be bold for our students and our community, and that's what it's all about. And to line up with that, about breaking barriers, we know that one of the student challenges that we have is around financial need. And so our foundation was formed, the San Jacinto College Foundation was formed in 1996 to help eliminate those barriers. And their work has been really absolutely amazing and just aligns exactly with that BOLD 2030 plan. So the vision for the foundation is straightforward. It's about fostering student success and access for today and tomorrow. Since its foundation, the San Jacinto College has raised more than $70 million, and that is for scholarships. It's for programs to make sure how we're moving the college forward. So the San Jacinto College Foundation is governed by foundation board members. They're community leaders who care about the success of our college, and they want to positively change the lives of our students and the community. So the names of the foundation board members are on the screen ahead of you, but I want to introduce the ones that are here today. And if they would please stand, and again, hold your applause. So I got Tom Butler, Michael Karstens, Greg Copeland, Terry Crawford, Bob Davey, Gene Fissler, Israel Garcia, Rick Guerrera, Rebecca Lilly, Brenda Thompson, and Ken Unfried. Let's give them a round of applause. And again, our students depend on you, so thank you very, very much. And we're fortunate to have an elected delegation who supports San Jacinto College, our students and our employees, and everything that we do to try to strengthen our region. So during this federal and legislative sessions, we always spend a lot of time in Washington, D.C. and Austin. I'm there, our employees are there, our board of trustees are there, and we're really grateful that our legislators and their staff members welcome us, and they hear our requests and our concerns. I can tell you our legislators are concerned about the challenges that we face and what challenges our students face. They're also really excited about our successes, and they look how they can support us. At the local level, we have outstanding partners in our mayors, our city council members, our county judge and our commissioners, and in our school board members. So we value those partnerships, that collaboration, because it's essential for us all to work together to do what's right for this community. So as I introduce our elected officials, I've got another list of them. So as I announce them, they're going to stand and you're going to hold your applause until the end. So I have Jay Guerrero with Senator Cornyn's office, and he's even here with the shutdown, so we appreciate that, Jay. And then we have Marianne Perez, State Representative District 144. Representative Perez, please stand. We have Stephanie Tanner with Office of Senator Mays Middleton. Don McDonald with the Office of Representative Dennis Paul. Adrian Sun with Representative Briscoe Kane. And then we have Lucia Bates. She's one of our Harris County judges. Thank you, Lucia, for being here. Phil Sandlin, Harris County Constable. I got nervous. I thought he saw me speeding on the way over. So that. Thomas Schoenbein, our mayor of Pasadena. Randy Chronister, mayor of City of Lake Shores. John Keeney, mayor of Taylor Lake Village. Bob Davey, city councilman with Taylor Lake Village. Rebecca Lilly, trustee, Clear Creek ISD. Jeff Martin, trustee, LaPorte ISD. Kenny Fernandez, president of the Pasadena ISD School Board. Melissa Crutcher, LaPorte ISD secretary, LaPorte ISD. And then we also have Joe Campus, trustee of Pasadena ISD. Let's give all of them a round of applause. Now that was a list, right? Wow, okay. All right, so now I want to also recognize our school district partners. You've met some of their board members, but our school district partners, they're so critically important to our community, but they're a great partner with us. And it's about how do we create opportunities for the young people in our community to succeed at San Jac. This fall, we have 7,400 dual credit students enrolled, and they're taking classes representing about 22% of our overall enrollment. And this one's going to blow you away. In May, we had 1,068 high school students earn associate degrees or certificates 2 weeks before their high school graduation. And I just want to say, that kind of program with dual credit programs cost our districts. I know they're making an investment for the future, and I hope all of you really understand these programs and how they are really expensive for our school districts, but they do it because they believe in what the opportunities are. So we have several superintendents that are here today, and I want to ask them to stand as I call their name. And again, hold your applause. We have Tori Hill with Channelview ISD, Walter Jackson, LaPorte ISD, Tony Lopez, Pasadena, John Moore, Galena Park, and Tiffany Reagan with Deer Park. So let's give them a round of applause. And I think we also have representatives from other ISDs, Humble and Crosby, that are here, and any of the others. Would you please stand and we'll give you a round of applause, and thanks for being great partners with us. We appreciate you. And San Jacinto College is one of 9 community colleges in this Gulf Coast region. This Gulf Coast region enrolls about 225,000 community college students. And we really work hard to try to align so that more students can achieve their higher education credentials, and that we align to make sure that we're meeting the workforce needs of the region. And I'm pleased to welcome a couple of my colleagues here today. So we have Bob Exley with Alvin College. Bob, please stand. And we have Margaret Ford Fisher, the Chancellor of Houston City College. Please stand, Margaret. Let's give them a round of applause. And I know we have additional representatives from Houston City College and also from College of the Mainland. Why don't you guys stand, because we're all great partners. All right. So I mentioned earlier, we have about 3,000 students who transfer to our universities. Again, most of them are in the region. Probably 40% of them are transferring to U of H Clear Lake. And it's all about that seamless transfer to make sure they're not losing credits. And with us today is Dr. Richard Walker, the president of University of Houston Clear Lake. Richard, will you please stand? And he's a real advocate about transfer for this entire region and about taking away those barriers. So we appreciate Richard's leadership. I think we also have representatives from U of H and U of H downtown, so if you'll stand also. All right. So we know that what drives an economy are the businesses and industries, and we've got to make sure we have advocates for them. And our community is so blessed to have so many chambers of commerce and economic development groups. And we're honored to be partners with them. We serve on their boards. We provide speakers and trainings that they might need. We host meetings. And what's really cool is we get together about how do we provide resources when we're really trying to land the next company for this region. And that's where you really start to see impact with new jobs. And so we work alongside of them, and they are great partners, and it's all about staying competitive. So we have many of our chamber representatives here today. We have chambers, we have our economic development groups. If you're a staff member or a board member, would you please stand? All right, thank you. Now, you guys were a little bit shy, so next year we'll speed that up. Okay. But again, thank you for making sure how do we strengthen our communities. And at San Jacinto College, we have a strategic leadership team. They're comprised of our campus leaders and our college-wide leaders. They report to me, and this is a group that's really innovative. They're about how do we make sure this institution is serving the community. So would the strategic leadership team please stand? And we're just going to give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thanks for putting up with me, right? And I also want to acknowledge Van Wigington, one of our provosts. Where's Van? He's the problem in the bow tie. He's always a troublemaker. But Van is retiring in December, and I just want to thank you for serving this institution for 30 years. Okay, did I get all the introductions? If somebody says I missed them, let me know. All right. So what we want to cover is the student journey. It's important. It really is what drives what we do here. We know that some of our students come here to complete their core courses, and then they want to transfer. Others come to upskill and advance in their career. And many come to us because of the cutting-edge programs we offer at affordable prices and our reputation of being focused on success. Our first Ravens Journey story, it's a really cool one. It's about Zachary LeBay. And Zachary is a Promise student studying process technology. And first time I met him, he let me know Sanjak wasn't his first choice. But what you're going to hear, it was the right choice for him at the right time. So rather than me telling you Zach's story, I'm going to have Zachary come up. Come on up, Zach. Let's give him a round of applause.
I see a bunch of familiar faces here, so hopefully that makes things a little less
gonna-
nerve-wracking for me.
There we go. Okay.
But good afternoon, everyone. First, I want to thank the wonderful people at Sanjak for allowing me to speak at this amazing event, the State of the College. And let me tell you, this college is in a beautiful state right now. Can we get a round of applause for that? And while we're at it, can we give a special round of applause to the guests most dear to my heart, my mother and father. Thank you, it really means a lot. So, since this is the state of the college, I thought I'd share the state of my life because so much of who I am today started right here at Sanjak. But before I do that, I think it'd only be fair to give you all a little backstory of how I got to the state of life I'm in today, because we all start somewhere. Growing up, making my parents proud was the #1 goal in life. And me being who I am, I set that bar extremely high for myself, to the point where I once thought it'd be unreachable. Growing up, all I did was watch TV and movies, and I thought being on that TV screen was the ultimate goal to fulfill that goal I had. But as time went on, I started to realize my parents didn't care about me being famous. They cared about me being focused. They didn't want me chasing attention. They wanted me chasing purpose. And that mindset really came from how they raised me. You see, the way my parents went about raising me is more than likely the exact template I use when it's my turn to raise my children. They were never the type to force me to play sports or hound me about having all A's. They just wanted me to give it my best and be a good person. But at the same time, they were hard on me when it came to my choices. They set boundaries and they held me accountable. At times, I didn't understand it. I'd watch my friends go out, have fun, and do whatever they wanted, and I'd be stuck in the house, upset, feeling like I was missing out. But looking back now, I realized they weren't trying to hold me back, they were trying to set me up. They saw things in me that I couldn't see in myself yet. They were protecting me, guiding me, and making sure I didn't lose focus on where I was headed. And standing on this stage today, telling you the state of my life, I can say with full confidence, I'm thankful for every rule, every no, and every tough lesson. Because without those moments, I wouldn't have the discipline, the drive, or the heart to get where I am today. But looking back, I don't think I came too short of those superstar dreams I had as a kid. From being featured on the Houston Chronicle and speaking at events like the Foundation Donor Lunch, and even landing my career job at Dow Chemical at the ripe age of 19, where I hope to happily retire at. But by far, the accomplishment that means the most to me is making my parents proud and showing them that every sacrifice they made was worth it. And truthfully, none of this, not the opportunities, not the growth, not even this moment, would have been possible without the people at Sanjak and the people who make it what it is. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Sanjak. Thank you for helping me fulfill my goals and for pushing that bar I set for myself years ago through the roof. Thank you.
I'm really proud of you. Thank you, Zachary. And Felicia and Michael, his parents, we're glad you're here today. And wow, he made us all proud. You two, you must be very proud. And he was really excited when he told me about his operator apprenticeship at Dow that's now turned into a full-time job. And so, what a great story, right? And his story is really one of thousands that we have here at San Jacinto College. And it really comes from that Promise program and the generous donors that have helped make that possible. And you're going to hear more about that Promise program towards the end of my comments. But now I want to give you one more Raven story. This one is Desiree Wilson, and she first set foot on the San Jacinto College North Campus in high school. She was in high school in 2005, and she was taking dual credit courses. And at that time, she was one of those unusual kids who knew exactly what she wanted to do. She wanted to become a pediatrician. And so she spent long afternoons at the campus, and she just really loved the independence of being there. She loved the atmosphere and said it felt like she was a college student and she could accomplish anything. After high school, she came back to San Jac, and she wanted to finish her associate degree. And that brought her face-to-face with Dr. Lamar McWane. And Lamar was leading our National Science Foundation Scholars Program. And Lamar encouraged her to take a class to help her with undergraduate research and to help her really strengthen her application to get into medical school. And she agreed, and she fell in love with the research component. So after earning bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees, she finally found her way back to San Jac. She started back here as a tutor, and this past fall got hired on as a full-time faculty member in our biology department. And she said she can't imagine doing anything else. And that foundation that started as a dual credit student has really helped her become the best teacher and the leader that she is today. And she wants students to know that their journeys don't have to be perfect. Maybe all of yours were, but for the majority, they're not perfect. And she wasn't always the best in some classes, but she didn't let it define her. And she's here today, Desiree's here, and Lamar's here, and I'd like them both to stand, and let's give them a round of applause. Thank you both. Another one of those stories that fits thousands of our students. And the next one is a senior co-op student at Pearland High School, and Tabitha Godinez. And she came to San Jac because she said everybody went here. And we liked that. She took some classes, and then like many of our students, life happened, and she had to take a break. She found her way back to San Jac. So I want you to watch her video where you can learn a little bit more about that story.
My journey with San Jacinto College began in high school as a dual credit student from Pearland. I left to pursue other things, but life, as it always does, brought me back home. After becoming a mom and needing a new path, I returned to San Jac to pursue my AAS in early childhood education. Those years were hard, juggling school and work and family, but I was never alone. Faculty believed in me, classmates encouraged me, and for the first time in my education, I felt truly seen. San Jac wasn't just a college, it was a community that remembered my name, they asked about my family, and they pushed me forward even when I doubted myself. Since then, my journey has taken many turns. From opening a child care center to working in the college's business office to discovering a passion for workforce education. Every step, I was supported by people who saw my potential before I could see it myself. Today, I serve as an education and workforce coordinator, connecting students with life-changing opportunities and helping employers invest in their future talent. It's a full circle moment. I once sat in their seats unsure of my future, and now I get to help others find theirs. San Jac has always been my launching point, through generations in my family and now into the future. As I imagine my daughter walking these same halls, this isn't just my career, it's my Ravens journey, and I'm proud it started and continues here at San Jac.
So Tabitha is here today, and so Tabitha, why don't you stand, and we're going to thank you for all the support that you give our students. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break here, I missed one of my favorite superintendents, Dr. Demetrius McCall. Where is he with Sheldon? I'm sorry, Demetrius. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. All right, now I want to tell you one more story, and this one's about Roland Rodriguez. And he was looking for a career with deeper meaning after the pandemic suspended projects at the Houston engineering firm that he worked for. And while he had been working on his engineering degree, he minored also in biomedical engineering. And he took a cellular biology class and imagined someday that this might be kind of fun to do again. And then in 2020, Roland got laid off. He spent a year looking for a job and couldn't find anything. And San Jac came to help him with that past dream. So he enrolled at San Jacinto College in spring of 2022 and enrolled in our cancer data management program. He took classes fully online, and he said that it wasn't only just that it was convenient, but they were great classes. They exceeded his expectations, and he graduated in fall of 2023. He got his certification the next spring. And so today, Roland is enjoying the start of his second career as an oncology data specialist at Houston Methodist. And this career is really personal to him because he lost his mother to breast cancer in 2000. And so every day he sees himself working and making sure that he helps cure cancer. He uses his technical skills to fight against that cancer. He never expected his journey to where he is today. And what he says is that even with the challenges he faced, he was amazed how much he could overcome. He wakes up excited every day to go to work. What a great feeling, right, to have that? And he credits San Jac for putting all those pieces together. Roland and his wife, who I found out earlier is also a graduate from San Jac in our interior design program, are here today, and I want them to stand and be recognized. So let me tell you a little bit more about our cancer data management program and our online classes. So our San Jac Online got launched this fall. 60% of our students are taking online classes. Maybe one, but they have that as part of their load. We also have a large portion of our students who want their entire program and degree online. And so we have 60 programs, credentials that are fully online where students can start to finish and complete. And one of those is our cancer data management program. But what makes this program really cool and different is that earlier this year we were asked by the National Cancer Registrars Association, known as NCRA, to look at taking that program national. What did this move do for us? It became that we are the only program in Texas that are NCRA accredited and the first program in the nation to have nationwide accreditation. And I'm really excited about it. The enrollment increased about 114% this fall from last fall. We're going to have an additional cohort start in the spring. And we currently have students from across Texas and from 4 other states, Alabama, Mississippi, Ohio, and Washington. And the possibilities for this program are endless. We expect it to grow and to really meet a need that's critical for oncology data specialists at a time, unfortunately, when cancer rates are increasing. And so I want to thank the cancer data management team at our North Campus for moving this request forward. To be able to take a response in January and have a new program implemented, fully implemented by this fall is pretty amazing. And it's helping provide the workforce in very high-paying demand fields. So let's give them a round of applause. As most of you know, the 89th legislative session wrapped up in Austin in May. And I guess with Representative Perez here, I should actually say, what, July maybe? Or even later, right? And It was probably one of the most consequential sessions for public and higher education in recent memory. And our lawmakers debated hundreds of bills that will shape how we in higher education teach, govern, and serve students across the state. I want to thank our state reps and our state senators for taking our calls, meeting with us, and ensuring that San Jacinto College had a voice at the table, even when we didn't agree, because that was really meaningful that we could at least have those conversations when we didn't agree. This session brought a lot of changes, from new rules on governance and academic oversight to remote work restrictions, and then also to new mandates around campus expressive activities. I'm going to admit these changes have caused some concerns as community colleges work to implement the changes. There's an uneasiness. We're working through that uncertainty, and we're doing it with openness and collaboration. It's been a tough few months, but there were also a lot of additional new initiatives that are focused on expanding career and technical education pathways, about strengthening workforce and transfer alignment across the state of Texas. And there was a really meaningful win for San Jac and the other community colleges. And it was around legislature to approve transfer outcomes so that they would be funded for community colleges across the state for those students who transferred to private institutions. It had been something missed in that outcomes-based formula. And what that means is students here at San Jac transferring to Rice and Baylor will now receive funding for them, and that's critical. We are about opportunity and partnerships. There was also a lot of work done about the continued evolution of House Bill 8, the outcomes-based funding. And community colleges are the sector of higher education that's funded on outcomes. It's funded on credentials, transfers, and dual credit. And I can tell you, the community college partners in this room, College of the Mainland, Alvin, Houston City College, we're all working hard on those outcomes because they serve our community. And it is about making sure that we can show results. And at San Jac, we've been really proactive about aligning policies, hosting employee discussions, and working with our school district and our university partners as we implement new rules. And the whole focus has to be, we're going to comply, but how do we make sure we protect the student experience? And even beyond compliance, though, these laws, what I saw was a deep commitment in Austin for the role of community colleges. We're no longer a second option, and Austin sees that. They see community colleges as being the front line for workforce development. So I thank you, Representative Perez. I thank all the other staff members that are here. Please let your bosses know. We really appreciate that. And San Jac had a pretty big win during this last session. We had a milestone for the institution. We got a $10 million state appropriation to support our biotechnology and our biomanufacturing program. A few years ago, Houston lost a big deal. We missed landing a major pharmaceutical company. It was sparked an important conversation that needed to happen across this region. And it happened with the economic development partners. And the question was, what was it going to take to make Houston competitive in the biomanufacturing field? And the answer was clear. The region needed a skilled workforce pipeline. They also needed a dedicated training hub to meet the growing biomanufacturing sector. And through our partnership with the Greater Houston Partnership and McCord Development and other regional leaders, San Jac stepped forward to fill that gap. And together we envisioned the Center for Biotechnology that's located at our Generation Park campus. This center was designed as the anchor workforce to be really that training facility for one of the fastest growing industries in the country. That vision caught the attention of our state leaders, and with their support, we secured again the first direct state appropriation in San Jac College history, and the largest single appropriation that's ever been made to a community college in the state of Texas. And I just want to thank Christian Bioneth and the board and just the legislators for doing that. So thank you very much. And just as we were getting ready to cut the ribbon and the grand opening for our biotech center, Eli Lilly and Governor Abbott announced a $6.5 billion manufacturing investment right next to our campus at Generation Park. This project is expected to create more than 600 jobs. I think as of last week, it was 615. And those are permanent jobs with another 4,000 construction jobs. That is proof that when education and industry and government work together, we can attract world-class companies and create opportunities that can transform a region, the state, and be a power player in the country. But that partnership doesn't stop here at the ground level. It actually is going to go into space also. San Jacinto College was recently named a partner in the Texas Space Commission initiative led by Intuitive Machines and Rhodium Scientific. And what this is it's an effort that will develop new ways to produce biomanufacturing, pharmaceuticals in microgravity. And it's going to safely then return those pharmaceuticals to Earth, and SanJac's going to help train the workforce. Now think about that. Students here at SanJac will be trained to handle biopharmaceuticals manufactured in orbit. That's really hard to imagine, right? It's another first for Texas, but it shows, again, how state investment is making a difference in economic growth and innovation. And so last month, we celebrated the grand opening of the Center for Biotechnology at our Generation Park campus. We had visitors from Italy, Ireland, Denmark, Minnesota, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. And just like this building that we're in, this is truly a building that was built by industry for industry. That's exactly what you see at our Center for Biotechnology, a facility built by industry for industry. And the presence of those partners from around the country and the world underscored the simple fact that Houston is now on the map as a global hub for biotechnology and biomanufacturing training, and SanJac's leading that change, and we are really excited about that. I want to thank McCord Development. I want to thank the Greater Houston Partnership for their visionary leadership in making sure that this industry came to Texas, and also for helping bring education together. We've built more than a building. We've built a foundation for Houston's next generation of innovation and workforce. And that innovation that we see doesn't just happen in classroom and labs. I can tell you it's happening at every one of our campuses, and it's wherever we can find a place to remove barriers and help students into the workforce faster. Innovation drives that bold vision that we have. And earlier this year, we had another really exciting spirit of innovation that led to groundbreaking partnership with the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. And it's one that's transforming how students earn their professional licenses. It started with a conversation between our team and Tom Butler, who is a TDLR commissioner. He's also one of our San Jacinto College Foundation board members. And we talked about what are the delays that our students are experiencing in getting scheduled for licensure exams. Some of those delays were 4 to 5 months before a new graduate could get scheduled for their license. So Tom suggested a pilot program that would help eliminate that long wait between graduation, certificate, and employment. So let's take a look at this video to see really how this program works.
Hi, I'm Steve Bruno, Deputy Executive Director with the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. Excited to spend some time talking to you today about a pilot program that we did with San Jacinto Community College, specifically with their barber and cosmetology students. Barbering and cosmetology is one of the 40 programs that we regulate here at the Department of Licensing and Regulation. Because of some ideas that San Jacinto brought to us, we were able to work and collaborate in a very unique and creative way so that the students, when they completed their education, were able to take their exams at San Jacinto College. And this was all in an effort to do whatever we possibly can to reduce that time that it takes between completing educational requirements to receive a license and the actual receipt of that license.
I'm so thankful to the TDLR and the SanJack partnership for being able to shorten the process of getting out there into the cosmetology industry.
All right, now isn't that a pretty cool idea, right? I want to thank Tom and the board and Christian Bionnet and Kevin Morris and all the faculty and staff who made this happen. And in May, at graduation, cosmetology, barbering, and massage therapy students got their degree Friday night, and they got their license right there from TDLR. 132 students got awarded that license that night. And probably one of the best stories is a young lady who graduated, got her license, and the next day started her job at Massage Envy. And again, this is about getting people employed. And SanJack and TDLR, we're now looking at how do we collaborate to expand this model? How do we take it into other high-demand fields like HVAC and electricians? And then seeing where do we develop from there? And again, I'm just really thankful that we were considered as part of this program. And again, to everybody who helped. And so thank you, and we'll see where the next phase of it is. So another thing that we're looking at is really coming back to, again, that innovation. And I look at that innovation, and I see that with our Promise at SanJack program. This is a program that started with a really bold effort. It's something that we believe in deeply here at San Jacinto College because we know it changes lives. This Promise at SanJack Scholarship is available to every high school senior in our taxing district, regardless of income or GPA. That's about 7,500 students that are eligible every year. And students have to apply, they have to complete the financial aid forms, they have to enroll full-time, and they have to complete their degree within 3 years and maintain a 2.0 GPA. If they do this, their certificate or degree, they earn it debt-free, covered by a scholarship. So you've heard me talk about the Promise program before. I always say it's a promise for a promise. We promise to make sure if those students perform that they've got an education, their higher education paid for. And that's a powerful promise to make. And so over the last 3 years, when we went full scale, we've had 8,030 students that are Promise Scholars. That includes 2,600 this fall. And for that 2022 cohort, the most recent group that just completed, they have a higher credential completion rate at 8% higher than our non-Promise students. So 8% higher, pretty impressive. Their top major is natural sciences, meaning that they can use that also as their framework to get into some of the health science programs like nursing. And their top the other transfer programs are general studies, business, social behavioral sciences, math, and computer science. The top technical programs, process technology, welding, electrical, criminal justice, early childhood, and IT. So since inception, 77.5% of those students that are Promise Scholars are first in their generation to attend college. That is amazing. And that means that there are 8,030 lives that have the potential to be transformed by higher education, getting into different workforce opportunities and high-paying jobs. I really think because of all of you, we're transforming lives in this community. The San Jacinto College Foundation Board has been hard at work. They are working to complete the Promise at SanJack Scholarship Endowment. Yesterday, we had a deadline to raise $500,000 to meet a matching requirement from an anonymous donation. As of last night, exact number was we raised $506,498.11. So we sent in the paperwork today for that match, and we're going to have another $500,000 on the way. But I don't want you to think the work is over. We've got another $500,000 match from this same donor that we need to raise by the end of January. So we're aggressively working towards it. I just hope they make an offer for the next one, because we're going to be able to meet that one too. We are incredibly grateful to the individuals, the corporations, the organizations that have helped to support this program and that are committed to Promise Endowment. But finally, I just want you to know, as we continue moving forward on it, we're going to continue because we need some more funds. And so the next event will be April 24th of 2026, which is our Sanjak Gala. And that gala, 100% of the proceeds will go towards the Promise Endowment. And the last gala, we netted around $700,000 to go into that endowment. So last one was spectacular. We want you to come for this one. I'm going to give you a sneak peek with this next video. All right, it's Couture for a Cause. Plan on it, April 26th. We've got a lot of sponsors already, but we can always use more. April 24th. I always do that. April 24th, if you come on the 26th, we'll be recovering. So, so you see the sponsors listed on the screen. And again, this is all about making sure we support students. If you want to be a sponsor, just reach out. Amanda Fenwick is here, Andrea Wynn, or call the foundation office. And we've got a special magnet on your desk there, on your table, and that's a reminder. And on the back of it also has a number or a sticker so that you can win the centerpiece. And I do want to thank our committee chair, our gala committee chair, our Rick and Melinda Torreson, and they are passionate about this. Their enthusiasm and their passion really, really gets you excited. All right, so that wraps up. I know I went a few minutes over, but I want to thank you for attending today. Today was really about celebrating the journey of our San Jacinto College Ravens. And it's about their resilience, their steadfast commitment every day. That is what drives us to continue, is our students' commitment. So thank you for being here. Thanks for supporting San Jacinto College. Thank you for supporting our students' journey. We really appreciate you, and you're changing lives with us. So thank you and enjoy your day.